In the world of page turners, there are many different layouts, builds, and designs. One of the more conventional ones is a remote. It looks like something we've always used since the dawn of man to turn on TVs, adjust volume on a variety of appliances, etc. However, a less than conventional layout would be this, a ring. This is a Bluetooth ring. There are many questions around this unit. Does it work as a page turner? Does it just adjust the volume? Or does it work on an e-reader? Today, let's check it out. Before we bring in any compatible devices, let's just look at this thing out of the gates. Now, it is pretty cheaply made, and it does feel as if it's just coated in metal, because it is not actually full metal. The construction of it all is pretty plasticky. In fact, the buttons don't press down or anything like that. The charging port on the inside is kind of innovative. It's nice with a little magnet snap. And to turn it on and off, you press and hold the up and down buttons. Either press and hold to turn off, press and hold to turn on, and press and hold long, about 3 seconds, to synchronize with your device. Now, the question is, how does this fit? This is a very big finger ring, and my fingers are fairly big, so it fits alright, and it's so big it fits on my thumb. So I guess beggars can't be choosers. We asked for a sample, and they sent us one that the average person it doesn't fit, because if I put it on my ring finger, it kind of just falls off. But that's not the fault of them. They do have multiple sizes. Now, if we crack out a Kindle, which we all need to know, we all want to know, does this work on an Amazon Kindle? Amazon has Bluetooth. Correct? Yes, they do. They got it right there. Now, if you go to all settings and you go to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, let's see if we can connect it. Now, traditionally, Amazon devices only work with audio-based connections. If this is treated as an audio-based connection with volume controls, it might actually work. So let's rescan and see if we can find it. As suspected, it's only finding our M2 Bluetooth speaker, and it doesn't seem to be able to find this key ring page turner. But the video's not entirely over yet, because it does still work technically with Amazon products, just not the physical device. So we have it now connected to this BigMe B751C, and if we align it so that our thumb can connect, we can now move it up and down using the up and down keys. Now this is really useful because, well, now you don't have to actually interact with the unit. You can just sit there and you can use the keys like this. You can slide or you can tap up and down. Now there's no way to pinpoint anything because there's no left and right, so I actually can't go and point to something and click on it. So I'm going to have to click on something with my finger, thus kind of defeating the purpose of this. But once we're in a book, we have to do one thing. We have to go to the fonts, and then we have to go down to more. Once we do, it'll say turn pages with volume controls. You click it on. Now there's a pretty big problem with this, because now when you go back and you press the button to turn pages, all it does is just kind of swipe down, and it gives you a mouse pointer. And the same is true if you press up. It gives you a mouse pointer. Now if you turn this to press the command button, or I guess the OK button right here, you press it, and then it goes into the settings as if you've tapped it. So there's not really a way to turn pages, and it doesn't have any motion, so I can't twist my finger, I can't swipe, I can't move it with an accelerometer or a gyroscope. It doesn't have any of that. So not only does it not work on a Kindle, it doesn't work on Kindle products either. I mean, it does work, it just doesn't do anything. Now you might ask, well, what if you turn the volume controls off? Because maybe that's kind of getting in the way of the function. Well, we actually tried that, and we turned it off, and it is still coming up with the same thing. So you tap it, and it just taps, and then you move up and down, and it swipes up and down. So unfortunately, the ring that they sent us doesn't have any function with books. It just simply doesn't work on Amazon devices. Now, that's a little bit of a letdown, but does it work with in-house content? The last thing we're going to check, because this should hold true for basically any device, does this work with things on board? We're using a side-loaded book with the onboard reading application. I believe it is eReader. Now, we're going to go to a random page, and we're going to see if this works. So we're going to ask the center button to do something. We'll press it one time, and it does change page forward. Now we're going to press any of the back or forward buttons, and again, we just get that kind of vertical swipe of a mouse pointer, and it doesn't really function. So in terms of this working with books, it doesn't work with books. It seems to be that it is a center tap, center mass of the screen of a device, be it your cell phone, be it your tablet, and then these just seem to go up and down in the most traditional sense possible. It is literally an up and a down stroke that is taking place of your fingertip, but it doesn't actually do anything in regards to books. So it's a little bit of a miss in that regard, and it's unfortunate because this type of thing has a lot of potential and could be applied to reading based off of the correct product listing and the application of what's going on the inside. Because our intended use application is not what the device was intended to be used for, we are not going to give it a score, because it's just not fair. We tried using a volume adjusting audio control Bluetooth ring to change pages, and although some Kindle applications have the ability to change pages with volume controls, this doesn't even do that. It can't get a score because it doesn't really work. It doesn't work on a Kindle, it doesn't work on any other device in regards to reading to any degree. If you want one of these, I don't know, maybe check AliExpress or something, and let us know if you have any other questions.